And so, we begin. Welcome back to the Final Fantasy V 4-job Fiesta. See that? 14 hours? Yeah, that's, I looked, and, we ended the session prior to last at, 5 hours. Which means in less than 2 hours of actual time, we did 10 hours of grind. Just to ensure we don't all thoroughly die. We have 3 level 35 Beserkers. And now, let's continue. Always, sit in mid. At least I believe that's who we have to talk to. He should be around here somewhere. Normally you don't have to go into here too far to find them. They should be floating around, I believe. If they're not here, I would be... They do not appear to be here. That is highly unusual. I swore they were here. Oh, I know where they will be. Never mind, they are not here. They have gone for a stroll. My memory is occasionally faulty when it comes to games I have not played in a long time. And it has been a long time for this one. I believe they're at one of the meteorites. I forget which. They are here. No, I don't think... Oh my. Oh my! Kiryu! What has happened to you? That poor dragon. That poor dragon. That poor dragon. Hopefully we can reset him. I believe they're at one of the meteorites. I think... Oh, yes. Oh, Hiryu is saved. I swear they have to be at one of the meteorites. I just do not recall which one. It'd be weird for them to be at Tycoon's, but, they could. Oh yes, they are, because bird. The bird. The bird. They're up to something. But the question is, what? Conversation by nodding of heads, or smacking of heads together. And, of course, the bird is basically there for their transportation. So we've lost 1 boat, 2 boats, but we have the 3rd boat. I believe they are at Waltz now. And have I overshot walls? I have. And here is where we're gonna start encountering the next set of fun things about here. About this particular set of things going on. Welcome to the first boss of this particular stretch. Welcome to Parabolos. It's a bunch of bombs. You want to kill them all because, well, together, because they also raise each other. But they are not immune to death. And yes, they self-destruct. This could kill the Berserkers. This could prove to be very difficult. They don't appear to do anything else. Okay, they do something. Now, each one of them have 1500 health and 100 mana. They also have some magic defense, but they don't have any immunities, and they thankfully don't absorb anything. But they also don't have any weaknesses, which would make the Black Mage very, very useless. We're gonna be here for a bit. Because one thing Arise does not do is it does not restore any MP. And to be honest, we don't have any way of healing at this moment in time either. So we just gotta hope the massive the pool of hit points we have is enough. It is not. If they still have mana, they can self-destruct. This is a problem. This is a big problem. Berserkers need to... Okay. Something's out of MP. There's at least 2 of them that don't have the mana to resurrect. Which means they can't self-destruct either. Which is, by the way, a blue magic you can learn. Why you'd want to learn it, I have no idea. Okay, so far the Berserkers are doing an alright-ish job. And there goes the first one down. Everyone killed is an Arise. It's a potential for another self-destruct to fail. Okay. So far so good. Those shields and capes are... oh, saving us so far. This is basically what the entirety of World 2 is gonna look like. Oh, I think we may have a successful win here. I think we have a successful win. We have a successful win. We have defeated Parabolos. Parabolos. It just doesn't know it. That was probably the least climactic way to fight Parabolos, but that was extremely effective due to the extreme level grind we endured. And that wasn't even a level grind, that was a money grind. More than anything. Anyway, we're gonna stop in at Karnak here with my 400 gil. And sleep. And again, I will mention it because it bears repeating. This was a 3-person grind. Galuf is at level 18. He has some catching up to do. Somehow. Which is why, as I said, he is not going to be the old crazy Beserker. It's just not going to happen. Okay, I appear to have misplaced Karnak. Karnak's meteor. How have I misplaced your meteor, Karnak? Ah, there it is. And meteor number 3. A den of monsters. Specifically one monster. His name is Titan. Titan has 2,500 health, is immune to death, which means the only way we're gonna kill him is we swing the scythes. And pray he doesn't successfully murder us. Equipment actually makes a huge difference. Believe it or not. That was Titan. The second required summon. No immunities, he absorbs earth, no weaknesses. So that's how it goes. One last meteorite. If you've forgotten where it is, you wouldn't be the only one. We're going to not stop it there. Instead, we're going to stop at the library for our free healing juice. Ah, that beautiful healing juice. Anyway, the last one, if you recall, was actually right here. What used to be the village of Lost. Now it is the village of Gone. It's the Gone meteorite. Because Lost is now gone. This one could be one of your most annoying ones of this particular set. It absorbs ice, which is a very common element, and has the most health of anything at this point. This is the Manticore. It has 3,300 health, and by all means would be rather difficult if it didn't have one glaring flaw. That would be, it is not immune to instant death, nor is it undead. As you can see, flame rings just block ice. Hence why Ferris was the only one affected by frost. That was Manticore. Bird Peninsula. Now, as you would expect them to do, they expect you to just take the ship and go over there. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, it's just bird-shaped peninsula. Bird Peninsula. This is important because Dragon can't get out. Chocobo is currently occupied and there's no forests. Does everyone remember where we parked? I do. Right on Bird Peninsula. And now, we jump in the hole. By the way, remember, Lena is the princess of Tycoon. She is the head of state for Tycoon. Ferris probably would be actually the queen, whereas Lena would now be heir apparent. Thus, they are putting aside their royal responsibilities. On top of that, Ferris is the captain of a pirate ship. They're pirates. They loot. They pillage. They have no boat. Boko is with the pirates. What have you done, Butts? Welcome to Galuf's world, the unnamed place, where you will encounter just one little island. Because it's the only thing we happen to land on. There are encounters here. I say a encounter. That is Pow. He has one purpose. His one purpose is to drop you a tent. It is a 100% drop rate. And he's fairly frequent. He's also not very strong. But surely there's something hidden, say, in this marsh here. Pow would never lead us wrong. Maybe it's in these woods? Or I could just be waiting for this cutscene to happen. The game is trying to tell you to just use the tense. Because that's the only way forward. Why did Lena risk her life to save Hiryu? I knew it couldn't be so smoothly. Go so smoothly here. Welcome to Abductor. This is one you're technically supposed to lose, but you can kill him. I don't think we'll succeed here, but you can kill him, and he drops an ether. He is not immune to death. But he does drop a treasure chest, which knocks you out. Or, you can lose, and get carried off. Welcome to Exdeath's theme. The big bridge. Welcome to the first instance of everyone's favorite, new, and everyone's greatest, grand favorite character of them all. He was introduced in Final Fantasy V. His name is Gilgamesh. He is, hands down, perfect. In every appearance he's made since Final Fantasy V, he is technically the same one that appeared in Final Fantasy V. We'll get into that later. For now, we just need to be thrown in against a wall. Why would you have the little girl in charge of a wind drake, Galuf? That doesn't make any sense. It is a big, vicious creature. Potentially vicious, anyway. Wind drakes are pretty smart critters. And now, we have the other problem. Galuf is alone. He is underleveled, and I'm going to give him one of our death sickles. he is going to have problems. He's going to have trouble getting to where he needs to go. Ideally, you could grind here if I needed to for another couple of hours to get him up to soloing potential, but there's not much in the way of us getting to where we need to go other than shell bears. Shell bears are pretty nasty. Fortunately, we don't have any magic to stop them. So instead, we will just death sickle them until they death sickle. That is how we do, in the least colloquial term. This is how Beserker do. Galuf is gonna Beserker until the other Beserkers make it around, because this is his only way of survival. If I had him as a black mage, he would be dead. He would not survive. And it's entirely possible he's not going to survive this encounter with Gilgamesh. Because our next boss is Gilgamesh. Welcome to Gilgamesh. He is amazing, he is awesome, and he has 11,500 HP. But he talks. Oh, does he talk? And this translation is brilliant. He's also not immune to instant death, which is the other reason I kept Galuf as a Beserker. Can you imagine trying to go through 11,500 HP without the instant death? Ooh, pardon. He is immune, however, to a great many other things, so you can't sleep him, totem, petrify him, confuse, paralyze, or poison him. But you can just kill him. Let's blow this pop stand. Now we are currently an illegal party. So, Galuf will be becoming our black mage. Actually, he will not be becoming our black mage. He will be remaining Beserker. A berserked Beserker. And the one that will be actually becoming our black mage will be, Ferris here, who I will have wield axes. But she will instead be wielding the main gauche. No, she will instead have the elven mantle and a death sickle. Galuf will be having the main gauche, and everyone will be having flame rings. Actually, yes, Ferris will also be having the flame ring. She will instead be wielding the main gauche. Because elven mantles are, I can't say overrated, but at this point we need the ability to heal at random points in time. Oh, by the way, she has a ton of mana and health. She's got more health than Galuf does, and Galuf is a Beserker. Let us not forget that. She's now a level 35 black mage. This will help our healing capabilities tremendously. I wonder, how do you... Aww. Galuf, I wanted to see how well Ferris can stab. Mean old man. That mean old man wants to ruin all my fun. It's to be expected. Oh, by the way, healing spring up here. Now that the team's back together and horribly unbalanced, we need to get out of here. We cannot go that way. That way would be progress in a different direction. Now we are on the world map. These towers you see to the right and to the left, they're useless now. We cannot do anything with them. But you will want to pay attention to them. The enemies around here would be on par with what you would expect. However, we are just a bit a bit stronger than we should be, most of us. So nothing in this world is really gonna stand in our way. I did not want to go there yet, we're a game. Because welcome to the Super Nintendo rendition of Battle on the Big Bridge. That was Gilgamesh Mark II. He had 6,500 health, was immune to instant death, but is amazing. If you can actually kill him, he drops a wizard's hat. And look at this, they have their own version of Garula. Friend to all children, hatred of the monarchy. Who is not immune to instant death. Very few things in this game are immune to instant death. A few things resist it, and undead are a dumb idea to use instant death against. Oh, those towers had a purpose. Oh, there it goes. And away we go. Well, so much for meeting up with Krylie so quickly. I mean, let's not talk about the nearly 15 levels we have on New Galuf. It was a long grind. We have 30 death sickles to show for it. Well, with that, we may as well hint up. Because, let's be honest, we just met Gilgamesh and fought him twice. Everyone loves Gilgamesh, and the writing, the translation in this game is brilliant enough to give you a good reason to just vote for him. I don't recall if any of these things are instant death, but if they are dead, if they are though, that could be a problem. They appear not to be undead. But this is also a good place to grind for a little bit of cash, because we didn't have any to speak of coming in, due to having spent 200 some odd thousand in one go. And we are all the way up here. The map is none too horribly specific, but apparently flying orcs are a thing here. Galuf has a lot of levels to make up. Okay, there is a town. Good. But we have made up enough money to do anything with it. That is the question. Still, this particular setup is not horrible. The triple Beserker, with the grind we did for the death scythes, the death sickles, is actually not bad. What do you sell? Oh, she just says... Orchilium Dirk. No. No warhammers. Nothing else that could be anywhere close to useful. I mean, I could sell the death. Sell for a bit. But I don't need the spare helm, the spare shield. The armor I'll probably keep a hold of. Someone deserves that armor. I say, why weren't you wearing the gold armor? You had the shield. Ah, Galuf, I'll never understand you. Anyway, let's see what's in the defensive shop. Ah! There we are. Golden shields. Golden helmets. Golden armor. Wizard's hats. I'd say reasons to grind, but that's really not. Because we have an unlimited supply of cash just sitting here. 10 death sickles. Here, buy my death sickles. That's all I needed to do. The other reason to farm death sickles, they are amazingly expensive. Would you stop that, you silly game? I like my main gosh. Because it's the only thing that's going to keep us alive. Why do I have an extra golden shield? I guess I bought into myself an extra golden shield somewhere along the lines. Anyway, with that done, we can now move along to the magic shop and see what we can find for black magic. I don't believe those... Is that black? That's time. Yes, the black magics. Drain, break, and bio. The main one we're going to be using is bio. That does a lot of things to a lot of enemies. And it is amazing. There's a hidden piano back here. You'll never find it if you just don't bother looking. We're getting pretty good with those. Ah, yes, the ancient castle of Kuzka. Let us not go there. It is a silly place. It is actually a very silly place, and we will not go there. But we will instead see what's in this item shop. The most important thing of everything. High potions. We are going to need a lot of those. Let's see what else they have. Okay, these are actually somewhat important. So, how about some death sickles? Another 10 should suffice, right? I mean, we can only hold, a complete, 99. Nothing big or anything like that. And we'll sell the silver armlet as well. Yes, there are monsters outside town. But we should rest. We're the first guests he's had in a long, long time. Where's the only place that's open in the middle of the night, Butts? You are not very smart. Yes, he's in a barrel. So our timing was actually very helpful. Anyway, that little scene out of the way. You'll normally catch that anyway, because most people make a tendency to just stop at every inn for a good reason. Anyway, all strengthened up, let us continue onwards and ignore that sealed castle, which is just to the south of us, I believe. We're still missing the Aga spells, but we're fine with that. I'm fine with that, at least. Oh yes, the sealed castle. 'Tis a silly place. Let us never go there. Ah, the Kuza Beast. I forget what he's weak to or anything. This is a just normal encounter. Who, like most things, is not an undead. That was a lot of money. Kuza Beasts are pretty good to grind off of if you, for some reason, need to grind for money. I'm not sure why you would ever need to do that in this world. They apparently do not like Ferris casting fire on them. Oh yes, these biocitruses. They can literally transfer the remaining health from one to the other because, of course. Not that that does anything. Ah, yes, we are approaching soon the location. The location has arrived. I'm gonna do something that's going to seem counterintuitive. Just save there and walk into... and ignore the Moogle. No, I'm not actually sure you could if you wanted to ignore the Moogle. Welcome to Final Fantasy V's early version of the Moogle. That's an understatement for the tiny bear with wings. Welcome to the underground cavern. This is a series of waterways which are annoying in that they're full of things that would be annoying if they weren't all weak to lightning. And instant death, as you would expect. Or overpowered Beserker. Overpowered Beserker is probably the reason everything's going to die so quickly. I don't recall if these are weak to lightning or not. They might be weak to fire. No, it is lightning. Yes, most definitely lightning. But this gives Galuf some time to try and catch up on the levels that he is so horribly behind in. As I said, the levels that the other three, Butts, Lana, and Ferris are at are what would be normally considered endgame levels or World 2. They don't have to do any grinding. The only one who does is Galuf. So any levels they gain are pure profit. Also, always remember the free treasure chests. I believe the blood slime is not weak to lightning, but he doesn't at least absorb it. And nothing really Death Sickle! And if I wanted to, we could switch now Lena to the Black Mage. I believe they may be weak to Bio. Yes, they are slightly weak to Bio. And they can eat each other up, because of course they can. Yes, I am basically wasting MP, of which I have a metric ton of, for some minor healing. This is the sole reason I got the flame rings. Because without it, we have no real capabilities of healing. And yes, these enemies do encounter rates are a little wild while in this waterway, and I've always thought as much. Not excessively excessive, but because it is a pretty short dungeon, I believe. It has been a long time, as I've mentioned previously. And Galuf has caught up another level. I believe this is not the way forward. Or maybe it is. If it is, we will have a decision to make here pretty soon. I believe this is a way forward. Yes, this is a way forward. I'm going to do something that seems counterintuitive. Remember I picked up those 3 mage mashers. This is one of... there are reasons. There are many good reasons. And I probably should have just picked up the warhammers thinking about it back in the other place. But, there's a boss here. And I'm gonna try and not cheese him horribly. Welcome to the Tyrannosaur. He has 5,000 health and he is an undead. Unequip your death sickles immediately. He is weak to fire, immune to ice, but he is also a dragon. He's not immune to death, but that just brings him back at full health. We could do this like this and just win arbitrarily because we just outlast him. Or we could do this. He is weak to Phoenix Down. Being an undead, healing items kill him. The slightly discordant notes in that song is just... I love this particular version. It just... it just mixed with... it just works. Moogle is going to show us, do not go in the desert. There are reasons not to go into the desert. I forget what the reasons are, but it's not pretty, if I remember correctly. Regardless, that was Tyrannosaur. And now that everybody has mastered Beserker, they will remain a Beserker. That could have been a decently drawn-out fight. And now everyone, put back on your axes, please. Because I'm just going to cut straight across this desert. Nothing is going to stop me. Oh, right. That. We are dead. We are so dead. There is no way we are not dead. This thing is undead. We are so dead. Yeah, we are just straight up dead. Yeah, we are just straight dead. I swore that thing was undead. I swear that thing was undead. I remember seeing it somewhere. Or hearing it somewhere. Apparently, that is why we don't want to walk in the desert. Moogle knew what he was talking about. Except he didn't because Death Sickle. Oh, maybe these things are undead. Something is undead out here, and I don't recall what it is. Anyway, Bio, instead of inflicting just poison, actually inflicts a very basic sap on the enemies, which is not particularly useful. Anyway, avoid the desert if possible. I believe that thing is weak to water, so unless you have a blue mage in your party, you really don't have a reason to, There it is. The Moogle Village. Moogles are very stupid. Very stupid bears. They're very, very stupid. Moogles are highly stupid creatures. How do you even recognize it, Lena? It is now going to do a Moogle thing. What are you doing, Moogle? And we get treasure for saving the Moogle. Ether, Phoenix Downs, money. The most important item we can ever get. Dancing Dagger is basically gives you the dancer's dance ability for free. That goes on Lena and does not come off. This gives them all the abilities with none of the drawbacks. But yes, it can even be boosted as if you were a dancer. It's an amazing item. But not as amazing as the chicken knife. But chicken knife will wait for some time. First off, Moogle costume time! Because now the Moogles will think we're one of us. Or one of them. This poor Moogle wants us to have whatever is in this chest. It is the third elven mantle, which we will sadly never be able to use. Let's see. Where's this event flag? I believe it's just talking, yes, to the next Moogle. It is Moogling. Krylie has a Moogle as a thing. She can speak Moogle. Somehow. Moogles are wizards. Moogles are mind wizards. No, Krylie. Krylie, do not listen to the Windrake. Please do not listen to listen to the Windrake. Now what are you Moogles doing? The Moogles have made a face in the forest. A Moogle face. Because Moogles. Yes, hurry back to your castle. Old, ancient Beserker. He's the only one that needs to learn how to berserk. Actually, he knows how to berserk, he just needs to learn how to axe. Which means, at that point, Black Mage has no reason to not be floating around the party. And you wonder why the Windrake got tired. You flew him around in circles. If you look on the lower left, you can see a stair appearing and disappearing constantly. Oh yes, Galuf is a king. He is a king! We had 3 members of royalty in our party, and Butts didn't even know it. Lacking of troops here. A surprise and a half. Galuf does not like the greatest thing in the world, the puns. Although he does have a perchant for them. Yes, Galuf kind of changes as soon as he regains his memory. He becomes more awesome. And there's that Moogle. A mysterious talent, they call it. This, by the way, Krill's room, Galuf's room. I think our next event flag is up here, though. Yes, it is. Yes, he just rescued us. It's not like he pushed himself to the limit. Krylie doesn't know, despite being the Windrake expert. Let's ask the one from another world. Of course. And we're fresh out of it. There's a reason they call it the Old Valley. Do-wee-oo. Werewolves! We get to see our good buddies, the werewolf. Remember him from back in, Waltz Tower? Yeah, the werewolves. They're a thing. A continual thing. Galuf's world just has werewolves. On top of that, it also has X-Death. Door in the basement won't open. I wonder why that could be. Maybe... This looks familiar. Wonder why that could be. No reason. No reason at all. He has an inn here, an item shop which contains, I believe, just cottages, which we could use a couple of. I mean, we do have 3 elven mantles, so if I ever feel like making Dodge Beserker... Look at the step! Bloop, bloop. He also has a weapon shop, which contains not great equipment. But is it better than the Mage Masher? Is the question. Actually, yes. But it cannot inflict silence, so Mage Mashers have a reason to be kept around, as do the hammers. We'll buy a couple of those, and just, equip them for no reason. Right, I forgot Dancing Dagger. So, we will return one of those Warhammers. And, ooh, new item. Too bad it's useless, because we can't heal otherwise. Magic. No new magic. Angel Robe. This, I believe, is a useful thing for classes that aren't us. I believe it gives you a free casting of... well, I forget which of the raise spells it is, but whichever one it is, it's good, but I think it's a one-time use item, as you would expect. Anyway, we need to head to Drakenvale. Yes, we are not going to be coming back in, no matter what we say. I'm sure that's not going to come back to haunt us in any way, shape, or form. Abductor! This one has 2500 HP. He is not going to last long. He is also not immune to instant death, but not like that matters. For that reason. That was basic. Anyway, that was Castle Ball. Bale. Whatever you wish to call it. The castle, where we need to go, is to the north, as Galuf said. Means through the swamp. The place where our werewolf friend from Waltz Tower showed up. Queleb. We have encroached. We are surrounded by werewolves. That's a very valid point, Ferris, even for a pirate. Ooh, you have a sprite portrait. Kelgar. He's pretty strong. How good is Butts' sword play when he's using a hammer? He is an old wolf. This is important. The reason he's never mentioned it, it's not important. To Butts, he's just Dad. To everyone else, he was one of the Dawn Warriors, along with Galuf, Kelger, and Zizat Sergate. Also, remember that last one. Butts is an alien. And since two of them turned out to be royalty, I guess that kind of makes Dorgan kind of half royalty? They used the meteor as transportation last time. Because of course they did. Among other things, and other reasons he likely stayed. And it was that easy. All we had to do was beat up an old wolf. That's really it. I mean, he's Lord Kelgar, so he's pretty much royalty. Ah. Suze was the one who tried to protect Protect the crystal and failed. It was fire crystal, excuse me, not water. A frog, eh? I think we can arrange that. I think that may be a Beastmaster only side quest, unless we all have to be frogs, in which case we're all frogs. Okay, you don't want to be frogs. He doesn't like human frogs, just regular frogs. Still nothing useful. These these are the other reason we have death sickles. I'm going to keep 4 death sickles because we're going to need them. These are the other snappable rod. These are poison rods. They cast free bio. Apparently the Dirks are actually better than the Warhammers. I should have checked that. Oh well. Regardless. Warhammers are hammers, and they pierce defenses. It is unfortunate we actually do not have access to a bard. Because in this town we can get a free mass AoE hurt all the undead. Unfortunately, we cannot use it because it is over here in this ring of children. The Requiem. What's also really fun is you can break the scripting. And now, they wander free. Wander children into walls. And on to Drakenvale, which is just north, in this giant mountain. Were snakes. It has... Hello, Golem. Your standard music. Your standard items. Other than the random Golem. Did I unequip? I believe I did, right? Yes, good. I unequipped the death scythes. There are reasons for that. There are reasons to put them back on, but the reason to take them off is this, the zombie dragon. It hurts a lot. And if you try and drain it, which is what Jitterbug is, because it's undead, the opposite effect happens. Fortunately, it's not too awfully powerful, I do believe. As opposed to Drippy, who could be annoying if he decided to have our MP on our Black Mage. He's unlikely to, as he's not going to live too much longer. This is the reason I bought antidotes. Lacking the magical way to deal with these things makes it a little more frustrating of a dungeon run. Not terrible, though. Those, on the other hand, are things we want to run from, because, as you can see, they are nasty and deadly. This is why we have the high potions. I mean, I suppose I could try and just straight up cut them down slowly. But we're not going to make a lot of progress doing that. And Galuf is likely to die. Although a tempting tango is very tempting. Lena, please be careful. You're likely to kill yourself. Lena does not listen. It is probably a very good idea and viable strategy to just run from these things. Though with Beserker in the party, what's the fun in that? More levels? And yet still, Ferris has more health than the Beserker. There is an item waiting here that is going to be so... well, is normally, I should say, potentially very helpful. Realistically, despite Galuf being the only one who really needs to grind, there's not much reason to grind here. Things are not particularly useful, and bones. Skulls and more bones, and Golem, would you please stop walking up and punching me in the face? Bone mail. Bone mail is, equipable by Beserker. Huge amounts of everything, but I'm wondering, and hopefully we can get into an actual battle to test it. Okay, we have a way of keeping a Boneserker alive. Galuf, give up the bone mail. I said give up the bone mail, do not keep it on you. And give that instead to Butts, who will never, ever, ever be taking it off. Having no white magic, having no... It has a disadvantage. If a Beserker, or Boneserker, or whatever, dies in combat, he can never be raised because he is now basically an undead. He is actually an undead now. This causes some problems in that I can't even use potions on him, but as you saw, fire damage, because it's not healing, it is actual fire damage, gets around bone mail. The advantages of having an early flame ring. Useless items that are useless, I believe. Yes, useless items are useless. Hey, they go for the cash pile. Look at that. 0 damage. Oh yes, undead. They're often weak to bio for no reason that's really understandable. I guess it's the fact that it's a bunch of parasitic biological organisms that would just eat the corpse is a possible reason. I don't pretend to understand. And I suppose we can just run from these guys. They're not hugely deathly, but they are a little costly on the antidotes and the potions, but we can always restock on those. And a free Phoenix down. It's like they know you're probably gonna go through them. And a save point. This is actually a very short dungeon. I think we skipped over one thing, maybe? I will be walking through it again anyway, so not like it matters. Anyway, I'm going to now do something silly. You may think everyone gets a death sickle. Almost everyone gets a death sickle. Which you would think wouldn't make any sense, right? Well, it makes more sense than you want to believe. Because we are about... No, Golem, you can go away. I don't care about your problems, just go away. This is the boss. The dragon grass. Hence why all the dead dragons. Welcome to the dragon pod and the dragon flowers it summons. It can summon up to 5 of those, which can inflict status effects. Oh, and it's not weak against really? They're not immune to fire. They just have a ton of magic defense. Of course they do. Well, if that's the case, I wonder if we can just snap a rod. Yes, it is weak against bio. Anyway, Dragon Pod has 12,000 health, while the flowers themselves have 100 health. Fortunately, Berserkers are rather immune to most of the status effects. So it's Ferris's job to keep the dragon flowers dead, while we wait for that to trigger on the Dragon Pod. It is dead. That was simple. And now we have the dragon grass. But now we have to walk our way back out without dying, which probably means I have to unequip the Death Sickles. This is not the last time Death Sickles will be amazing. But that is always the case. Plus, I believe Bone Mail makes the wearer immune to most status effects, much like the ribbon does. It's a ribbon, but for your body. You are now an undead. Welcome to the Horde of the Undead. You are not to eat brains, but you have no brains. Hence why, if you have bone mail, you'll probably want to put it on a Berserker. If nothing else, Berserkers are handy for knife usage. I mean, the Dancing Dagger is perfect in the hands of a Berserker. The Dancing Berserker. I've got the Undead Berserker, I've got the Dancing Berserker, and I have the Old Man Berserker. I mean, that's a trifecta. I mean, the Dancing Berserker even wears almost no clothing anyway. If you look at her sprite, she is literally like wearing nothing. And she's the only one that wears next to nothing. Because even Ferris in her Berserker outfit has a full fursuit, for lack of a better term. A full set of armor to go along with it. But Lena, nah, don't need that. Like I said, very short dungeon. Did I miss anything? No. I do believe I missed nothing then. In which case, we're done. The very short quest. It can be a very deadly place if you're not paying attention. I remember having problems with this basically every time I've run it. But apparently this triple Berserker Black Mage combo is just... well, it helps that we're level 35. 36. Yeah, it really helps that we're level 36. She just skinned that cat alive. Anyway. That is the end of our adventures in Drakenvale. We have no reason to go back there. And this is the last of our time in, I forget what this place is called. But we don't need to go here either. Although that one sheep, oh, it was just stuck in a corner. I thought it may have been a special sheep. Anyway, back to the castle that Galuf owns. That cursed being we will see again in World 3, in Act 3. But for now, we need to get back inside. Galuf, for some reason, has a plan B. I will not ask why. Anyway, now that we're in the moat, which if you know anything about medieval architecture is absolutely disgusting. It functioned as the sewer system of a castle, so I don't want to imagine what they're currently walking around in. Imagine that green stuff. but a much more lovely shade of brown. Just yuck. Anyway, Galuf had the presence of mind to build a secondary entrance to his castle's water supply. Why? Old man Galuf is a little strange. The king was always a little eccentric. You know. Frill, what happened to you? Friley. A 700-year-old sage. Oh, trust me, the plot will thicken. Thicken so much. Very rapidly. Because we are actually rapidly... World 2 is amazingly short. I'm not going to lie, it is very, very short. We will be through with it probably next time. And Lena just decided to eat the highly toxic grass. Criley, shouldn't you be in bed with being psychically attacked by this great sage? I'd use other words to describe what's happening, but Criley is a very young girl, and that would be very inappropriate to use the terms. Remember, our main characters are a very old man, two 20-year-olds, Butts and Ferris, and a 19-year-old Lena. Criley is, I believe, barely into the double digits of age. Yes, everyone is acting like a complete buffoon and overreacting to everything. This is what makes Final Fantasy V so great. Just everyone's just so enthusiastically gung-ho about everything that it's a little on the ridiculous side. And we've acquired our first World 2 transportation. The Wind Drake. He functions exactly as you'd expect. He is, after all, a Wind Drake. Although, sadly, he does not get a name. Wow, a game. A name like Hiryu did. So, to the sage. They said he was to the northwest. Then there's only one way off this little continent, and that's to the northwest. And look at that, there's the cave. There are not many places we could go with the Wind Drake, so we might as well just advance the plot. Something is happening. Exdeath is not stupid. He knows who his enemies are. I just realized that that thing, when you put your head to the side, it's a dog. The dog island is now dead. Exdeath sank it. It's amazing how powerful Exdeath is, and yet he doesn't try and murder us. I mean, he literally doesn't. Anyway, good job, Windrake. You saved our lives. But now we can't go to the Great Sage. Where do we go? Where could we go? Oh, a castle! It looks like Galuf's. This is an unusual thing, right? No, welcome to Castle Surgate. Remember? I told you to remember Zizat's last name. He's a king. King of Castle Surgate. Unfortunately, he's not here. The Great King is not here. Sadly, he is off commanding a war fleet to the east of Exdeath's domain. Poison axes. These are useful, I believe. Yes. Notice they are just slightly weaker than the death sickle. But without the instant death, they're marginally useful. I'm not even sure what I sold for all that money, but it was, something. Might as well buy 2 of them. This way I could keep... Actually, I only need the 1. I need to start remembering there's a reason I have what I have on the bosses. Oh, right, he got better equipment, yes. That's why I have that extra set of golden armor. Bone mail. Notice how we haven't had any place to buy rods. Rods are not a thing we can buy in this entire universe. And that's a thing. Also notice how quickly we've been progressing through all of the things and how much money we actually have because we don't need anything. It's amazing how quickly you can just, in these Fiesta runs, how you can just accumulate so much money because you only have 4 classes to worry about, period. Even if they're diverse, much more diverse than what we have here, by the way. Half a book. Just half a book. But, yeah, just... You know, how... What was I going for? I was talking about how much money you can get. Just rapidly. Because... you only have 4 classes to worry about, and even with a diversity of classes, you just don't need to buy all the extra equipment. In a normal run, you'd have to worry about buying your 4 pieces of equipment for the 4 classes you're using, and if you ever want to change off of them, well, you know, you have to buy the alternate equipment. It accumulates money. The money goes nowhere. Plus, you have to buy all the magic for everything because the magic is actually amazingly useful. This is how you learn that if you teach a mage how to use a martial weapon, they gain so much strength. I believe that's the only hint you're getting. There's also levitate in here, or float as it's called. Unfortunately, we don't have a mage that can cast it. So we will never be floating. We will always have our feet firmly in the ground, always in the bone mail. But we learn all the free magic because if you don't, it's free magic. Anyway, the scholars of Surgate Castle, for some reason, I think it speaks of Zezat's mindset, that he has an entire division of scholars. Just for him, just for his little castle. But anyway, as we draw toward close, we will fly towards the fleet. I mean, if you talk to everybody, you would learn that you can land on the big ship. The good ship. The big ship. The big ship. And that will start an entirely next set of items, of things we can do. Anyway, we're over here at Exdeath's Island. Oh look, a big boat. And a fleet of boats. That must be the one they were talking about. But we'll see you guys next time for more Final Fantasy V Fiesta. Or Job Fiesta. When Triple Beserker and their tending, white and their caring, loving black mage who burns them and everything to the ground meet Zezat. Till then, this is Stomping Llama, signing out.